Likkutei Tzav, page Yud Zayin, first column. 2 lines from the end of the first column. Okay, now the Rebbe is explaining that Kriyas Yamsuf was the preparation for Matan Torah, because Matan Torah is the concept of Torah mitzvahs is bringing the levels of Atzilus, the godly world, into the worldly worlds, into Briyatzir and Asiyah. And therefore they had to split the sea, which means that the Yamsuf, which is concealment, became revealed. And therefore Atzilus, through Torah mitzvahs, is able to come into the lower worlds. But L'Asad Lavei, it's talking about Nahar. The difference between Nahar and Yam is Dibur, Bina, and Nahar flows, it's the level of Chachma, and therefore L'Asad Lavei, which is the level of thought, which is the level of preparation for Pnimius HaTorah, the secrets of Torah that Mashiach is going to reveal. So therefore you need to split the Nar Pras, which is the river, which is the level of Chachma, to come to that higher level. Okay, 2 lines in the end of the first column. Thought is also letters. In other words, when you speak, you have letters, you speak in words, but thought is also in letters. People think in a certain language. Everybody thinks whatever their mother tongue is, so to speak. And even the letters of machshava, of thought, are only a garment to the actual chachma, just like speech. Except it's a more internal, concealed level. In other words, intellect and feelings are not letters. You reveal intellect and feelings through letters, right? Now, if you reveal it to yourself, that's thought. When you reveal it to somebody else, that's speech. So there's no difference between thought and speech, but both are letters, except one is much more refined letters, concealed letters, versus the revealed letters. It's also a level of concealment, even compared to the Chachma of Ilah, like it says, but the concealment is not as much as it is by the letters of Dibur. So in other words, even thought, as we learned in Tanya, thought, speech, and action are the 3 garments of the soul. Right? That's what the Rabbi explains in Tanya. Thought, speech, and action are the garment. You have the soul, which is intellect and feelings. But how do you reveal intellect and feelings? Just like garments, the way a person is able to, used to be. You walk into the street by wearing clothing, meaning you have to reveal yourself by wearing clothing. So the neshama reveals itself through garments. Now there's thought, which reveals intellect and emotions, and speech and action. But there's still letters, but there's still a concealment. It's still a garment that can, just like clothing conceal you. So the garments of the neshama, thought, speech, and action also conceal you. And look what he says in the Biur Shishimim L'Malchut Pnimis Chitzenis. So therefore, V'hinyan Ein If Yodei L'Nor, the Mashiach is going to wave his hand over the river of Nar Paros. Hainu She'ez Galus Atzmius Eiden Ha'elyon. It's going to be revealed at that time the essence of Eiden Ha'elyon, of the pleasure of above, Le Kamesha Nimshach Achshav B'Gan Eden. Not like it is in Gan Eden, Aidei HaNor. So Aidei Eisis V'Eisin Malbishim Alimim, Vein Zet Akfein Vein Zet Tfis V'Asogis Atmis Chinas Eden. Okay, at the beginning of Chumash it says, we learned this. Nor Yetzim Eden, the river came out of Eden to water the Gan. That's what it says at the beginning of Chumash, right? V'Nor Yetzim Eden Lahashkis Sagan, which means, as obviously clear from the pasuk, originally there was Eden, and then a river came out of Eden to water Gan. Okay, now we have Gan Eden. Now, Eden refers to the pleasure. Eden Adin means pleasure. That's a level higher than intellect, higher than emotions. The essence is pleasure. Nahar Yetzim Eden, meaning the level of Chachma, Nahar, comes out of Eden to water the Gan. That means Eden itself, the essence, is not revealed in the Gan. The river came out from Eden to water the Gan. Now Nard is letters of thought. Thought is also a garment. That means Nahar conceals Eden to water the Gan. Like we learned, anytime you want to teach somebody something, you have to limit it to their level. When you want to reveal an emotion, it automatically limits it based on the way you reveal it. Right? So until Mashiach's coming, there was Eden, and then there's the level of Machshava, which covers Eden to reveal Gan Eden. So now Gan Eden is a revelation of Eden, but through a river, meaning through a concealment. La'atzad Lava, Eden itself is going to be revealed without the garment of Nahar. Right? Therefore, when Mashiach comes, the Nahar is going to split. That means the Nahar itself will be revealed. It won't be concealing, like thought conceals the Eden. It's going to be revealed as it is in the essence. So therefore, the prerequisite and preparation for that revelation of Mashiach has to be splitting of the Nahar Pras. So splitting the sea was a preparation to Matan Torah. Nahar Pras has to be the preparation for Pnimius HaTorah. What?
There's a passage that says Nahar Pras is going to be split.
Yeah, Ve'en if Yodei Nahar B'Yam Luchi refers to Nahar Pras.
When Mashiach comes or before he comes?
How many hours before? I don't know. But it's the pre-actual revelation of Mashiach.
What's the ultimate explaining? What are you trying to get at?
The whole Maimer began, Heinif Yodel Nahar. Why Nahar is 7 canals versus Kriyas Yamsuf, which is 12. And what this is, all the differences. Chein Amar Azal. Say Perikei de Brachas. Therefore, the Gemara says at the end of Perikei Brachas, Al Eden Nemar, concerning Eden, the Pasuk says, Ayin Le'roasa. We're saying about Eden, no eye saw it. That means it's never revealed. It's too great of a level to normally be revealed. The Shema Teimer, the Medrash says, the Gemara says, Shema Teimer Gan Hu Eden, and if you're going to think Gan and Eden are the same thing, because now it's Gan Eden. But if you think at the beginning there's Gan and Eden as the same thing, Talmud Lamed Gemara, the Pasuk says no. Nor Yetzim Eden Lahashkes Sagan. The Pasuk says the river came out of the Eden to water the Gan, and the Gemara continues that says Eden is separate, Gan is separate, and the Nar comes out to water the Eden, the Gan from Eden. Because until now the revelation in Gan Eden is only B'emtsoes Eis B'chinas Nahar. It's only through the letters of Nahar, which is the river, Machshava, She'eis Yisei Malim, and because they're concealment. Therefore, what is revealed? Only Ha'ar Ba'alma. Because if you reveal something as it is, it's not going, like we said, you're by Niagara Falls, you could be thirsty and you can have tons of water, but you can't limit, you have to limit it. Right? You have to take a cup and fill a cup up with water to be able to drink it. So yes, the cup is a concealment. Like this, there's 1 million gallons, now it's 8 ounces, whatever. It's a concealment. But that concealment is the only way you can have the revelation. Because if Niagara Falls, you open your mouth, you're not going to be able to drink. So the same thing in godliness. Or even in seichel. When you teach little kids, you're lowering your seichel to their level. So it's really, but you're concealing it. But in essence, that's the only way it could be revealed. But what's being revealed? A limited amount. So before Mashiach, Gan, Eden, through the Nahar. So the Nahar is like a concealment. The thought conceals the Eden, but nevertheless, that's only a ray. That's why what's Gan Eden now? Ziv HaShechina, it's only a ray of the Shechina. La'asud Lavei is going to be the essence of the Shechina. And that's why Chassidus explains, it's all over the place, that the Avis, Avraham Yitzchak and Moshe Rabbeinu, are sitting in Gan Eden for 3,000 years, no more, 3.5, whatever, For what purpose? To come back to the Tchias HaMesim. They're waiting in Gan Eden, and don't understand, every time you go up in Gan Eden, right? Every year you go up. So you can imagine where Avraham Yitzchak and Moshe Rabbeinu, they're all the way up there, right? In the galaxies that they keep finding, whatever. That's nothing. That's physical. But why are they waiting? Because where they are now is only a ziv, a ray of the Shekhinah. Yeah, very high ray, but it's still a ray. It's not the essence of the Shekhinah. Tchias HaMeisim, which is the ultimate revelation of Mashiach, then they're going to have the essence of Hashem, which is infinitely greater. It's like the cup of water in Niagara Falls. It's nothing compared to the Niagara Falls. Huh? Is Mashiach Moshe Rabbeinu? It says in the Medrash, Moshe hu Goyal Rishon hu Goyal Achron. Right? So the Rebbe asks the question, how could Moshe Rabbeinu be Mashiach? Moshe Rabbeinu was a Levi, and Mashiach comes from Beis David, from Yehuda. So how could it be the same thing? So some people say the neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu is, but the Rebbe explains, the Rebbe explains it simply that it says by Tchias HaMeisim, when Mashiach comes, so up to 40 years, everybody's going to get up. But Tchias HaMeisim process takes 40 years. Tzaddikim get up right away. There's people get later, until people in Eretz Yisrael, wherever, So, as soon as Mashiach comes, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to get Tchias HaMeisim. So, physically speaking, he's going to redeem the Jews together with Mashiach. But the Rebbe explains that Mashiach is greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe equals 345, Mem Shin Hey equals 345. Mashiach, Mem Shin Yud Ches equals 358. 358. The difference between 345 and 358 is Echad. Yes? 13. Echad equals 13. The difference between Moshe Rabbeinu and Mashiach is a level of Echad. So therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu with the level of Achdus and all that is the level of Mashiach. Mashiach is greater than Moshe Rabbeinu. Just in Nevuah, not what?
There's the concept of time in Gan Eden.
Yeah, but source of time. Let me ask you a simple question. We learned already that on a yard site, a neshama goes higher in Gan Eden, yes? And therefore you say Kaddish. First year's Kaddish is to save them from Gehenna, right? But afterwards they're out of Gehenna already. So what's the purpose of Kaddish on a yard site? It elevates the soul, it helps it in the go up, yes? Now, if there's no time up there, when's the yard site? So there is, but it's what's called Seder Zmanim, is the source of time rather than physical time.
What does that mean?
I don't know, at least at the present. What? Huh?
If there's time, there must be no. If it's a source of time, there's no makom.
Time begins in Bria, the source of time. Atzilus is above time. Because Atzilus is not Dibur. Bria is Dibur. Bria is Dibur. Yeah? So that's when time begins. But it's not time in our level of time. Our level of time is much tangible, much more tangible.
Seder Zmanim means time in chunks. So in
Seder Zmanim means the source of time, whatever
if you
it
see a second, you're looking at a...
I don't know, whatever it means, time is it's the source of time. It's not physical time. In Bria you don't have seconds and hours and minutes, it's ruchnius. But it's the concept of limitation which creates time and place. Time and place is limitation. Remember we said the famous question, the Maggid, the Alter Rebbe brings on in Siddur, that the philosophers ask the question, why did God create the world 5,782 years ago? Why didn't He create it earlier? Right? So in Kabbalah it says the answer, because there had to be a lot of tzimtzums along the way, tzimtzumim, and that took a lot of time, so by the time He finished all the tzimtzum, that's when the world was created. So the Maggid asks, the Mizrach Maggid asks on that, so why didn't He start those earlier? You start those earlier. So then the world would be 10 million years old and everybody would be happy. Right? Even though this guy says 10 million, 11 million, 12 million, 15 million, and it's like a million years. Well, I mean, what's 11, 12 million years? I mean, come on. right? So the Maggid says the real answer is that before the world was created, there is no time. Time and place are interconnected. The definition of time is how long something exists. If there's no something, it can't be in existence. So therefore you can't ask the question, why did God not create the world earlier? Because earlier there was no world. There was no time. So time began when Hashem created the world.
But also, God created the world and people. Why all the generations would be deprived of the pleasure of Mashiach, and only last generation supposed to be will enjoy it? It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Not fair.
We have to get a new complaint box here, by the way. There is one? But I think we're going to need a bigger one. There's going to be more complaints here. You know the circular thing bin in the back with the blue bag in it? That's,
We got an app of complaint.
oh, app complaints. They go straight to spam or trash.
But seriously, why would all these generations?
Because again, for the 1000th time, from the beginning of creation, there is a process that this has to happen. You have to have Adam and Rishon created. Then there had to be the Chetei Tzadas. Then there had to be the flood. There had to be Avraham Avinu. There had to be Golus Mitzrayim. There had to be Yitzias Mitzrayim. There had to be Kriyas Yamsuf. We just learned.
Why?
Kriyas,
But why 4,000 years between all that and
4,000?
Kriyat HaMashiach?
because 5,000 by the way, 5,500.
No, after Kriyat HaMashiach.
No, but I'm saying because everything is preparing for the ultimate goal. Can you build a building in one day? 1 minute. How long does it take to build a building?
Always more than you say.
Double, triple. And the price is even more. Okay. So let's say it takes 3 years to build a building, correct? No. How long does it take to build a city from scratch?
Much more.
Okay. How long does it take to build a state, a country,
Culture.
a continent? Okay? Now, that's Earth. How long does it take to build the universe with the stars and everything and all the zillions of miles? It takes time?
7 days.
Okay. To build Mashiach, the world ready for me, takes time.
You see
Now,
the
if you play games and you don't get the job done, you fall asleep on the job and you take a lunch break for 6 hours and you fall asleep the rest of the time, it's not going to take you 3 years to build a building. It's going to, it's going to take you 10 years to build a building.
You see tangible progression.
So,
Here, I don't see any progression.
you don't see, I see.
You
If
see?
I pay you, I want
Tell
to
me.
be the building today.
No, I can't reveal it only to special people.
No, can you try to? What do you see?
Because every mitzvah we do is building another brick. Don't you hear that expression? You do a mitzvah, you add another brick.
Yes.
Okay, every mitzvah we do, we're adding a brick into the building of getting the world for Mashiach. Now, if the Jews would have been done tshuva earlier, Mashiach would have been earlier. Why didn't the Jews do tshuva earlier, by the way? I promise you, Hashem wants Mashiach to come more than we do. Okay? Most people are complacent in Golus. Yeah, Mashiach, sloganize, yeah, we want Mashiach now. Yeah? But then I start worrying, but I just bought a new car, I just built a new house. What am I going to do? Mashiach, maybe you come back in a few years. Let me enjoy the house first. 1 second. So, if there's anyone that wants Mashiach to come, to be able, because what's Mashiach? Mashiach is not a human, yes, it's a human being coming. But the concept of Mashiach is a revelation of godliness in the world, which is the essence of godliness. Yes? Now, let me ask you a question. When you're dying to say something, and I don't let you, it's torture? Okay. When Hashem, I don't use the expression, is dying to reveal himself. Hashem is, the ultimate purpose of creation was to be able to reveal, right? The essence of Hashem to be revealed. Hashem is dying to reveal, excuse the pun. Hashem is dying to reveal himself. Now, he could. Well, it's nothing stopping him. But the problem is, Hashem says, I don't want a Mashiach that I do. Of course I can make a perfect world. Hashem, big deal, I can make a perfect world. What's the accomplishment? The accomplishment when you guys make a perfect world. So Hashem wants us to bring Mashiach, correct? So Hashem is dying for Mashiach to come because then the essence of Hashem is revealed in the world. Now, if that's the case, why doesn't Hashem get us to do tshuva earlier? Why doesn't Hashem just make it happen? He wants it to happen. Because God is very patient, and He loves us so much. He said, if I do it, it's no big deal. If you do it, it's a big deal. And therefore Hashem says, the longer I keep you in Golus, the more you are accomplishing in you building the building for Mashiach. The building in the new world.
We don't see any progress, and that progress could be done in one generation.
There is progress being done. Hashem sees the progress. Tzaddikim see the progress.
It's very risky, Rabbi.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people jump off.
Hello? Do people invest money in business?
Yes.
Is every investment a risk?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, why do you do it? Because hopefully,
Make it big.
the risk will pay off. Yes? Hashem gives a neshama in a body with a yetzer hara. It's called a risk. Hashem said, I'm giving you good and bad, life and death. Pick good, pick life. Yes? It's a risk. A person, neshama, comes down into this world. The neshama can go worse than before. But eventually the Jew's going to do tshuva.
Yes.
Well, like it says in our Yom Yom, it's worth for a neshama hayir. Worth of the neshama coming into the body 70 or 80 years just to do one favor to another Jew. That means even if the neshama suffers being in a body, just being in a body, suffering 70 years, and it does one favor to a Jew, it's worth all that 70 years of suffering. So yes, it's a risk. Hopefully, the risk works. The difference is, a risk in business is totally up to Hashem. A risk in our avodah, Hashem says, of course it's up to me, but I'm giving you the free choice to do it or not. When we have an investment in a business, a risk, we don't necessarily have the free choice to for sure make it happen or not for sure make it. We can only try and daven. But in Torah mitzvahs, it's totally up to us, the risk. Understand? So you got to do it. You do it. It's easier not to do it. Yeah, it's easier not to go to work. It's easier not to go to school. It's easier not to have to work. Yeah, but then what happens? You have nothing. Okay, weiter. What? I haven't. Okay, now, Gan Eden only has Amshach through the level of Noah. It's only a revelation. But by Mashiach putting his hand over the river and splitting it, we come to not the Noah that comes from Eden. It comes from the essence. So in other words, what does it say? He made Tzeischem Eretz Mitzrayim about Mashiach's coming. Like the days of going out of Mitzrayim, I will show you miracles. Seeing. Arenu means Re'iyah. Not that we're going to hear the level, Eik of Tishmon Shmiya. It's going to be Re'ei Nasati Leftech. It's a level of Arenu Neflois. Seeing is believing, which is higher than understanding. If I see something, and you prove to me logically that I couldn't have seen it, or it can't be, you're still not going to change my mind. Because seeing is believing, it's above understanding. If I understand something, then you can prove to me I don't understand it. It's very easy. But if I see it, there's no way in the world you're going to prove to me I didn't see it. Because it's above it. And that's the level Arenu Niflois, meaning not even Niflois, it's going to be Niflois, which is wonders of wonders, which is even higher than miracles. It's going to be in a way of seeing it, meaning feeling that essence of Hashem. And that's what the Giler Mashiach. The prerequisite for that, and the introduction to that, The preparation for that is Mashiach splitting the Nor into 7 plates.
Wow. Mazel tov, mazel tov.